going on out there with the teams you pick?
Well, Bob, this is my favorite kind of teams, the shootouts. Kentucky, they're going to put pressure on everybody. I like Wake Forest from the ACC. I like Memphis. And Texas Tech, don't overlook them. I see hoops like them. I like Texas Tech also.
And West, we got Kansas and UCLA 1 and 2, but Utah sneaking in there too, and that's a good pick. It could be another high-scoring region.
It certainly could. Keith Van Horn really raising those Utah Utes. They're somebody to be dealt with. And look at my #1 team, Kansas. I like them a lot. And I think Syracuse is going to surprise some people and make it to that Sweet 16 and be a #4 seed.
All right, now it's your turn. Who's your eventual national champion and why?
I like Kansas. I like the Jayhawks. You know, they're quick out front with Jacques Vaughn and the big guys, you know, LaFrance. I like them. But I really like their new addition, Paul Pierce. I think he's the connector. He's the guy that can take it the length of the floor and can finish. So all of the big people, the quickness, the experience, I think Kansas is going to win it all.
All right, guys, if you don't mind, I'm going to agreeably disagree with you. I like UMass, not because they're #1 and unbeaten, but I think they've really taken their game to a new level. They really believe that they can win, and championship teams, to me, always seem to have something to rally around. And I think for UMass, it's Marcus Camby, sort of the win one for the Gipper. Let's do it for this guy. They had their little scare with him earlier this season, but it's a rallying point for them. So UMass gets my pick. All right, we've got a lot more to talk about. You two guys sit tight, and everybody else stay tuned as well. A very interesting story coming up about a former Arkansas star who was looking forward to success in the NBA when he left after his junior season. But along the way, Scotty must sometimes try to push the right buttons to help bring out the greatness.
What can 9X do for you?
Well, it would be nice to call my daughter every few hours, check up on my new
Society.
This is CBS Sports, the home of the NCAA Basketball Championship.
And good afternoon, everybody. I'm Pat O'Brien. Welcome to CBS Sports College Basketball Wheel, where today we'll bring you all the exciting action from a cornucopia of college basketball games, just like the NCAA tournament. Everybody starts with a brouhaha in the Big East as the Georgetown Hoyas, led by all-purpose Allen Iverson, look to get it done in the Dome against the Syracuse Orangemen, and their menace in the middle right there, John Wallace. And then the wheel rolls west when USC tips off against Cal at 3:05, followed by the 4:05 tip-off between Mississippi State and Oklahoma. Now, USC interim coach Henry Bibby looks for his first win when the Trojans take on Cal and their freshman phenom Sharif Abdul-Rahim, averaging about 23 points a game. Eric Dampier to Mississippi State, and he'll look to offset the sharpshooting of the Sooners senior Ryan Miner. There he is. Some basketball news for you. The University of Pennsylvania's 48-game Ivy League win streak came to an end as the homestanding Big Green of Dartmouth beat them 54-53. We'll be back at halftime. George Raveling. Right now, the wheel starts rolling. Coming up, Georgetown, Syracuse. Tim Ryan and Bill Raftery have the call. See you at halftime. Enjoy the game, everybody.
CBS Sports coverage of the road to the Final Four is sponsored by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. Burger King, where you can get your burger's worth. And by Goodyear, #1 in tires.
When it's Georgetown and Syracuse, it's bright names in big games. That was then. This is now. From the sold-out Carrier Dome in Syracuse, New York, the NCAA on CBS brings you a Big East battle. #8 Georgetown, #18 Syracuse. 32,000 plus in attendance here at the Carrier Dome, hoping for revenge against the Hoyas for their beloved Orangemen. Here are the standings in the Big East. Georgetown on top with a 2-game lead over Syracuse. Syracuse standing at 7-5. Hi, everybody. I'm Tim Ryan with Bill Raftery here in Syracuse, and what an atmosphere as we expected there would be. Two fine teams, two outstanding players, two of the best in the nation in action here.
Oh, great talent. You look at these people, 1 and 3, Iverson and Wallace. We get a chance. Of course, Ray Allen having a great year, but on the defensive end, Allen Iverson with great pursuit of the basketball, the ability to convert quickly, and yet if they need a deep one, he can get those puppies set and knock it down. And John Wallace, what a talent. Inside or out, the ability to freeze your guy, jab, step, hit the three, or when needed, move down low and bang with the big guys and take it to the 10-10.
59th meeting between these two teams. Last time out, Georgetown won by 19. The rivalry is not lost on Syracuse senior John Wallace.
There's one thing you know coming to Syracuse University, that when you play Georgetown, it's one of the biggest games of the year. It's sort of like, you know, them Carolina Duke games down in the ACC. And, you know, in the Big East, it's probably the biggest rivalry in the Big East.
Well, there are only two seniors on the Georgetown starting lineup, and it also includes freshman Victor Page. So much of this lineup has not seen anything like 32,000 plus in the Carrier Dome. The starting lineup, Othello Harrington at center, had a big game against them in the win. Boubacar Au and Jerome Williams. Williams will be banging the boards. The backcourt, Iverson, of course, joined by freshman Victor Page. John Thompson loves this rivalry. He doesn't mind coming in here and being booed by the crowd. He expects it, and in fact, I'm sure that's what gets his adrenaline going. For the Orangemen of Syracuse, Otis Hill at center. Wallace up front, of course, the main man, and Lazarus Sims have a lot of pressure on him bringing the ball up, joined by Jason Cipolla in the backcourt. Jim Boeheim, he's ready for this one. You know, the crowds here miss Lou Carnesec and Rolly Massimino. They're glad to see John Thompson come in. Boeheim and Thompson have been at this rivalry for the 16-year existence of the Big East. Syracuse in white. Georgetown in the dark uniforms.
And they got a problem already. We'll line it up for the jump ball. Tim Higgins has to rearrange the feet. Stolen tap, Tim. Excuse me.
Officials Tim Higgins, Dan Crispin, and Jim Burr. And it's going to be Georgetown ball.
And Tim, they're going to play a lot of zone, but the initial get-go, man-to-man for the Cuse.
Victor Page, freshman number 44. The main man, Iverson.
Half court favors Harrington. He'll get more touches.
Now pulls up, opens it for Georgetown.
Well, that's another dimension. Gets their press organized. If Al knocks him down, three-pronged offensively.
Pressure right away from the Hoyas. Broken nicely by Syracuse.
A lot of guys have to help out. Hoyas, man-to-man as well. The quickness of Iverson, Tim, helps out, doubles.
Wallace shut down on the baseline. Syracuse turnover. Iverson off the back iron. Rebound Cipolla.
And you want to run against Syracuse because they all hit the glass.
Hill.
Great look. Get it down the floor. Everybody on Georgetown hits the glass.
Tied at 2. Iverson slows it down, calling the play for the Hoyas.
Big thing is contain this dribble. So you got to hedge and show and then recover. Don't recover, you get hurt.
Harrington missed on the follow. He's fouled. Harrington had 23 points and 9 rebounds in Georgetown's victory, 83-64, a little more than 2 weeks ago down in Landover.
They tell me there's the pick and roll, the show by Hill, but not the recovery necessary. And that's how Iverson can hurt you without scoring.
First foul on John Wallace. Harrington at the line. Reese Snyder coming in early here. And Wallace goes out. So Jim Boeheim reacting quickly to the foul on Wallace. J.B. Reese Snyder, the senior from Knoxville, Tennessee, normally would be spelling Otis Hill. With 2 big men in there now. Othello Harrington picked up to go to 887. Look at that lineup. Definitely one of the chairman of the board.
Some pretty good news. I think Wallace was taken out, Timmy, over-pumped a little bit. Just calm him down, get him back in.
Still tied at 2.
Little double, got a kick, opposite.
Hill, good effort inside, draws a foul. Double team by Williams and Harrington, and it's Harrington who picks it up.
Anytime you get that double, Hill fortunate to get to the foul line. He's got to kick quickly or make a decision immediately.
Harrington in the loss to Villanova had 10 points and 7 rebounds for the Hoyas. The big game we mentioned against Syracuse in the 19-point victory a couple of weeks ago.
They'll jar you, won't they, all those numbers? Steal, rebound margin. A lot of ways they win, even when they're not shooting well.
Hill hits the second, a 3-2 lead. Just underway in Syracuse. Iverson in the lane. Chance for Cipolla, and he's fouled.
You got to push. And the Cuse is ready as Jason does the Pete Rose imitation. Iverson with the quick hands. Off of penetration. The backcourt is bare. Iverson got in, beat his guy, and all of a sudden the peel back not there for Georgetown. Good take advantage break by the Cuse.
Cipolla will go to the line. Iverson's first foul.
Price the king. A little JC time.
Cipolla makes the first of 2.
He shoots it for Giannoulis. They've got themselves a little offense. They've had games where he's been struggling. He's a much better shooter than his numbers.
Junior college transfer came a year ago from Tallahassee College, but he's a New Yorker from Queens. Jason Cipolla, averaging 5.5 a game.
And only at 35% from the field goal, so he's got to be able to fire it up a little better. In the zone on the out of bounds, they like to trap if it gets down low.
This is Page. Page, the lefty hits.
How about that recovery?
Averaging nearly 13 a game, this freshman from Washington, D.C. McKinley Tech. Played at a couple of prep schools as a PG student following his high school days at McKinley. Reed Snyder. 7-4 Syracuse.
Syracuse is going over the top of the press to get those numbers. Excellent penetration by the big fella, J.B. Ripsnyder. Straight up man. Good show, and now the disadvantage.
Travel called. Iverson into Harrington. Hoyas turn it over.
They'll press, but their half-court defense was better against Syracuse the last game. They got them to make a lot of miscues.
Jim Boeheim said it's when you get to this position here where Hoyas defense really, they're just in your face so tight.
Challenge everything, Tim. Nothing free.
Todd Bergen, they need a big game from him. Cipolla trying for 3. Williams rebounds. And Williams nearly lost it to Reed Snyder. Controls now to Iverson.
So he puts it back on your heels, doesn't he?
The quick from Iverson. And he is fouled. He is offense charged with the offensive foul.
And Rip Snyder with a great read. You can't play Allen Iverson all alone. He's disarming.
Two on Allen Iverson. 16:42 still to go in the first half. Wallace back in the lineup for Syracuse. And out early with his first foul.
Some patience, get their high-low going. This team's a pretty good passer. They got a little bit of a zone look.
Cipolla pump fake, takes it to the hoop.
Excellent opportunity dribble.
4 points for Cipolla. 9-4. Orange lead. Foul. Hill battles for the rebound. Ball still loose. Hoyas have it. Williams won't drop for him. Finally, Syracuse and Otis Hill.
They are ready to take advantage. Too many dark shirts on the glass, no balance in the backcourt, and Syracuse leaking out.
5 points for Otis Hill. 11-4 lead. And a foul on Sims. Azar Sims picks up his first foul off the ball. Cheikh Jah comes in, the man they call Yaya from Senegal.
This team recovers Georgetown. That's why they attack the offensive glass. But right here, the distance too great as Hill leaked out. The big thing is rebounding, creating area.
Gary Nichols also into the lineup for the Hoyas. Good three-point shooter, number 45, a sophomore from Jackson, Mississippi.
He's come along, too, Tim. They're starting to run some plays, some double screens for him. Nice addition in that backcourt.
Iverson gets his first point. Missing the second. Syracuse rebounding.
Good bounce.
Sims. Hello, you.
Say goodnight.
John Wallace. First points of the game. 13-5. Timeout is called.
Send it in, John Wallace.
Syracuse by 8.
Let's get real.
CBS Romance Monday. 4 great comedies and me on the night you need us most.
Fabio hosts all new romantic comedies Monday.
That's him, Ryan. Nice little hustle play by Bergen as he keeps it alive. And right away, you can see Syracuse with the push. Wallace, who started the game very pumped, remains so. What a strong completion.
5 of 7 from the floor. The Hoyas 2 of 7. This is Nichols, and Nichols hits.
This hurt. Just got to get.
Sims brought.
This is the defense, the half court that's given them prop. Good open look.
Pulling in and out. Rebound by Nichols, and here will have a jump ball. Possession arrow is Georgetown. Is Syracuse. Possession arrow, Syracuse.
It's amazing. A couple of weeks later, the different looks of teams. Now, Georgetown not getting as much in the half court. Here comes a little trap. You got to step to the foul line and look underneath. You can't throw those kind of passes.
Bergen had it picked up. 2-on-1 Georgetown. And Williams missed it, gets his own rebound, and he is fouled.
I think they're to score the goal. No foul. A lot of banging. Iverson's the one that kept it alive. Crash into the goal. Now, Williams doesn't mean to watch Iverson as he gets himself involved. Now, he knocks the body away to permit the cleanup by Williams.
Ball was on the glass. 2 points. Georgetown 13-9.
That's 2 silly passes.
Victor Page fires it down quickly to Iverson in transition hit. That's what'll burn you. 3 points now for Iverson. Trap on Sims. Big feed down the wing, and now it's Sims in the backcourt.
He can make this.
Bergen. Averaging 13 points a game from Detroit, Michigan, the sophomore. 3 points for him.
What?
Williams.
If he pumped any more, the well will be dry. Oh.
Hoyas cut it to 3.
Great. Kids released by Jerome. Well, that's good basketball by Otis Hill, though. Nice turn and penetration. If the D doesn't stop him, he had a little kick to the wing.
Nichols turns it over after making a good rebound try, and that's 4 turnovers for the Hoyas. 13:33 to go. Cipolla and Hill go out. Leachsnyder returns. And Marius Yanulis, the sophomore from Lithuania.
Bergen with penetration after the 3, mixing it up.
18-13, Syracuse by 5.
Harrington not in the lineup, but you have not called his name much, Tim. Not getting the touches when he is in.
Giannis pass knocked away by Leachsnyder. Another turnover. by Georgetown.
You got to be careful leaving your free throw.
Orangemen turn it back, and Miller knocks the pass out of bounds. Georgetown ball. Bergen slow to get up.
You get a little feeling that they want to put the other guy out here. Two teams, toe-to-toe, diving on the floor early, very aggressive defensively.
Harrington returns for the Hoyas. Jackson in the lineup at guard. Damon Jackson, a freshman from Alexandria, Virginia, number 11.
And here's the 2-3 zone. What confidence Thompson has in Iverson. Playing him with the 2. Got to be careful defensively in particular.
Iverson for 3. Won't go for him. Wallace, good position.
Look at the numbers.
Bergen backs it out. Dow came in for the cover. Good bounce pass inside to Reschneider.
Good cut.
Bounce pass a little too hard for Sims to handle. And Reschneider picks up the chopping foul. His first.
You notice that long jumper by Iverson on the wing. Georgetown doesn't have a balanced look. Unfortunately for Syracuse, they didn't take advantage.
Each team with 3 team fouls. 12:25 to go first half. Syracuse by 5, beaten by 19 at US Air Arena a couple of weeks ago.
Iverson had to see a few more touches in the middle.
Reschneider. Yanulis made the play. He has the ball. Sims in the lane. Off for Wallace. Wallace to the block.
Wheeling and stepping through. Big John. They were in great control offensively. Using the dribble a little bit more, did not take advantage of that factor in the last Georgetown game.
Joseph Tuomo in the backcourt. Number 4, freshman from Cameroon. For Georgetown, working with Jackson.
And this is where Othello was very effective. Top of the key in the last game.
Another near steal by Yanulis, and there's one by Wallace.
Hold on. DC at his best. Derek Coleman with that number.
Man, the senior is pumped. He became a true leader this year for the Orangemen, and he's got this crowd alive, 32,000 plus.
And you think back to Boeheim calming him down with that substitution early.
Harrington and all kinds of traffic, a nice move for the basket.
Give him the opportunity, guys.
22 to 15.
Good, solid man-to-man. Look at the help here on the baseline.
Nice pass. Bergen to Reschneider, and on a second try makes it.
Make them pay for their help.
Hoya turnover. 8 in this first half. Timeout with 10:40 to go. 24 to 15. Syracuse.
Is presented by UPS.
Utah's Rick Majerus has coached the running Utes to success. In his spare time, he coaches a growing team of reading Utes.
Remembering what you read. I think that is much more important than reading fast.
It may defy comprehension, but Majerus's program reaches nearly 2,000 local kids a year who can read their way to Utah games. For Rick Majerus, reading is the ticket.
Tim Ryan with Bill Raftery. We're at the Carrier Dome in Syracuse, where the Orangemen, looking for revenge, lead at 24 to 15. 32,000 plus. They might reach that record crowd of 33,048. And look who draws them in here, the Hoyas.
And getting their money's worth from John Wallace. A little bit of retribution, Georgetown style. Anything cross court they get, but John just bubbling with energy tonight. And I guess he's a little intense with that look.
Georgetown leads this long rivalry 30 games to 28. Syracuse trying to cut that by 1. Here's Wallace from Reschneider. Turnaround won't go.
Boy, they're in great position. A turnover here by Georgetown. You know, without Iverson on the floor, Tuomo's the guy who's going to have to come back and get the basketball. But how about the position? Reschneider in the middle, ready to cope with the 2-2-1 press.
9 turnovers now for the Hoyas.
Foul line's open.
Good look. Godwin and Windsor, the man who threw the ball away, and Syracuse makes him pay again. Reese Snyder for 6 points.
Is he having the game of his career? 2-3 look. Force the deep one and rebound.
Victor Page, the freshman for 3, won't go. Rebound, Syracuse.
They got numbers if they push.
Good pass from Burden out of the trap. Sims waits for him. To the corner. Yanulis for 3 and rebound, Reese Snyder.
Pretty play.
One drop for Reese Snyder. Wallace misses, finally cleared by the Hoyas.
Reese Snyder should have dunked it.
Williams goes the distance. Windsor on the follow, and he's fouled.
They are letting the big guys attack one another at both ends of the floor. Real enjoyable referee job. Let them play a little bit.
Well, we've got more ahead here today on the CBS wheel today in the NCAA. USC with their new coach, Henry Bibby, against California. You're raving about that star out there in California.
Well, there's a number of them. Raheem is one. Jelani Gardner another. He saw him last weekend. Very talented newcomer.
Mississippi State, Eric Gampier and company against Oklahoma. All ahead here on CBS. Owinji at the line. Godwin Owinji, a junior transfer, junior college transfer. He's Nigerian from Benin City.
Billy Packer would have a ball with these two teams. You know how he feels about foreign players now, Tim?
Yes.
There's a number on each side. He might protest if he had this assignment.
Yeah, Packer went public there last week with those feelings.
Organize your defense.
26-16. Syracuse 5-10 here with 9:22 still to go in the first half.
Well, you learn by your mistakes in life. And Syracuse that time handle the pressure without dribbling the ball. Do a 1-3-1 look here, and then they go man.
The Lithuanian for 3. His first basket, and he can shoot it. Iverson turns it over.
Numbers
3-on-1. Reese Snyder missed the layup, but he is fouled.
It's not his fault, though. It was given up to him too early. You stagger the dribble.
Offensive foul.
Yeah, you let the big guy get there. And right here, Lazarus, one more bounce would have frozen Page. Instead, he's able to set up. The big guy gets the yoke on the brow, but it's not his fault.
No question, Page in position. Third personal on Reese Snyder. Page, bounce pass to the baseline.
An offensive foul, Tim.
Heidi White.
The little hook.
Don Thompson has used up the lineup. The sophomore from St. Louis, Missouri, 270-pounder at 6'9". It's his first personal. 10 players have been in there for the Hoyas.
That's the opposite of what would be expected. Syracuse valuing the ball, Georgetown not.
8:30 to go. You knew it.
He didn't want that. He got to talk himself into it. Stroke it.
Page for Iverson. Iverson for White. And he is fouled.
Multi-dimensional. Talk about defense on Iverson. The ability to shoot at that time. The penetration. Rutgers giving Villanova a pretty good one. And then the dish. The two having a great year.
Iverson watched by Yanulis. Near steal. Off the hands of the Orangeman.
Not too many guys pick his pocket. Marius almost came clean against one of the premier handlers in the country. Many things that Iverson can do even against the zone because he can penetrate, split defenders.
Scott travels in the lane. 12 turnovers now for Georgetown with 7:54 to go. Syracuse 29, Georgetown 16. Tim Ryan and Bill Raftery here at the Carrier Dome in Syracuse, where the Orangemen on top. And Wallace with 6 points and a rebound, 3 of 6 from the field. 12 Georgetown turnovers. That's been a factor, and they're shooting below their average. 44%. They started out 2 for 7, but they usually shoot 46 from the floor.
Very important to get easy baskets against Georgetown. Nice look, Pete. And Miller feeds Hill. They are challenging the press.
7 points for Otis Hill. Jahadi White continues down deep for Georgetown. Now, Ja, Iverson, and Page, the lineup for the Hoyas right now. Victor Page, the freshman, missing. Followed by Al is off the mark.
Jahadi White just shoved.
Ja, pardon me.
Yanulis out of bounds. A little bit of frustration. Iverson amazing getting to the goal.
Well, near the conclusion of today's game, Bill and I will select a genuine Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the game from each team. To date, Chevrolet has contributed almost $5.5 million to the scholarship funds of America's colleges and universities.
And so with this press now, they'll just keep doing it. They're getting closer on the lob passes. You can't be silly or soft with your snap pass.
Pola watched closely by Al. Good defensive player. Sims the feet underneath. All kinds of traffic. And it pays off. They steal it from Hill. And it's going to be Al.
All off the half court. Sets up this full pressure.
4 points for Boubacar Al. One of the 2 Senegalese in the Hoyas lineup.
Amazing how they can close off a lane. It was a terrific pass by Sims, and he recovered on Hill.
Charged against Yanulis.
The run out, the close by Page, so effective.
7 turnovers now by Syracuse. 31-18, the Orangemen lead with 6:40 to go first half. Syracuse, like Georgetown, successful on the fast break, today outdoing it.
Oh, they're hand delivered, though. They're turning, and Georgetown not recovering properly. Playing small now with Rich Snyder and Bergen out.
Iverson for 3. Yanulis comes up with it. Marius Yanulis. Wallace.
He's got the whole package, Tim.
Man, he had to smile himself at that shot. Off balance. No air, just pushed it.
He may be a believer in the UConn game. Here's a little trap foul. They give it to Sapola or Wallace. Sapola gets it. Not too bad, though, huh? The big guy moving just like the open. Outsider going to the goal. John Wallace. Everybody here very happy that he stayed.
First foul on Sapola. Timeout called by Georgetown. Let's see it again.
This is amazing, and this is what he's elevated his game to. Whether it's the deep 3, the low post, and there, the relief maybe on the pull-up.
Well, tomorrow CBS Sports jumpstarts its coverage of Daytona Speed Weeks with an all-out run for NASCAR Glory, the Busch Clash. A pack of 17 pole sitters, including 2-time defending Daytona 500 champion Sterling Marlin. You'll also see Jeff Gordon and Bill Elliott in a 50-mile full-tilt sprint to the finish. The Busch Clash tomorrow here on CBS Sports, 12 o'clock Eastern. Iverson at the line. Syracuse at 17 fouls, 1 for Iverson.
I'm trying to think of guards, his speed. Brock Foster comes to mind, Jacques Vaughn. He may be quicker than all those guys. Kevin Ollie, the kid at UConn a few years ago, just breaks your defense down. He gets annoyed at himself and he makes a mistake. Talented guy.
Missed the free throw, however, and a turnover by Georgetown. 13 here in the first half. It's been killing them. Iverson shoots from the line at 68%.
Syracuse doing a nice job, the off-guard handling more than Sims to take Iverson out of the play.
Bad pass, Wallace for Yanulis. Yanulis started to break. 8 turnovers now for the Orangemen. 5:28 to go in the first. Howe comes out for the Hoyas. Page and Iverson in the backcourt. Harrington, Williams, and Damon Jackson, the freshman guard from Alexandria. The 3 guards in the lineup right now for Georgetown. Todd Bergen back in the Syracuse. Patola. Sims, Wallace, and Hill. Their starting lineup on the floor.
Look at this leak out again.
Patola can't stay inbounds.
What a break as Page goes over top of him. No place to go, ran out of room. Again, the recovery almost there for Georgetown, but Syracuse continually leaking out, taking advantage. It all starts with pretty stellar defense. Unselfish kick by Othello to the wing. Wallace up big. And right here, not much territory left him. And a break for the Orangemen.
Tough break for Page. Couldn't stay prevent himself from landing on Satola. Syracuse ball. Sims nearly had it knocked away by Jackson. Controls his shot, misses.
Oops, didn't need it. That's what happens generally. He knew he made a little bit of a blunder with that release.
Sims fouling Williams. That's 3 on Lazarus Sims with 4:56 to go. The only experienced backcourt man that sees action for the Orangemen at that position. They'd have to go to David Patrick with him in foul trouble, the freshman from Hamilton, Bermuda. Williams at the line, 1-and-1.
Timmy, you've got to know when you've got 2, though, that you don't want to give it cheapy like that. Sims too important to this team. Not a heady play for a guy who's been very good the last couple of weeks.
5 points for Williams, the board banger for the Hoyas. Make it 6. 13 points. Syracuse lead with 4:55 to go.
Gotta look deep.
Cola for Bergen. His feet for Unolis. It bounced to Hill. A little break for Syracuse there.
A lot of quick feet out there defensively. You think you got it? They close it down.
Shot clock down to 7. Pile up underneath.
So that's 2 plays that Bergen had to bounce the ball and they have a basket. Throws the air. Put it down the floor.
Syracuse lucky to keep it. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Bergen lets fly, missed everything.
There you go, right behind you, Will.
And the Orangemen turn it over. 33-20 lead. 4:21 to go first half. Nichols comes in for the Hoyas. Out goes Jackson. Nichols a 3-point shooter. John Thompson wanting to get something going here in these final 4 minutes of the first half.
Zone's been effective, keeping it out of Othello's hands.
Double team in the corner.
They're gonna... Good timeout call. Save the ball. The 2-3 trap in the corner. Effective.
So we've got 4:05 to go on a 13-point Syracuse lead.
Well, Tim Ryan, you know that they were prepared for this, Georgetown, but look at the bodies. No passing lane, no angle, and it causes the timeout, bringing them to 2 remaining. Deployment essential, and you've got to understand that it's coming. Now they throw it all the way back out. That's the safe pass to half court.
Nichols. Iverson. Nichols lets fly for 3, and he misses. Wallace rebounding.
Georgetown just has to be sound here. Iverson off the ball, always a threat. Sneaks a peek, very clever. Look at him. Oh, Tuomo on the trap there. Crispin right there. John Thompson.
First personal on him, a costly one.
He's softened up. You see him applauding the call? Get after him, John.
Georgetown also in the one-on-one. Coming up at Pennzoil at the half, Pat O'Brien and George Raveling will have the latest news and the story of a college player who may have turned pro too soon. All coming up at the half.
The Rav, the two West Coast guys. Hollywood in the studio.
That Hill right there to convert to 2. 15-point lead. 9 points for Otis Hill. Harrington.
They'll keep coming at you. Relentless. Great look by Iverson. The big fella. Get down the gut.
Otis Hill outside. Off for Yanulis.
That's just a terrific read by Nichols. Unfortunately, grabbed. You think you've got a little post move all alone? You better do it in a split second because they've got help coming.
Nichols' first personal sends Hill to the line for 1-and-1. Totally dominant performance by Syracuse. Very much like Georgetown showed them back in Landover. 10 points now for Otis Hill. They were very relaxed at practice yesterday, Bill. A lot of confidence. Seemed to be able to shake that 19-point loss to the Hoyas. What a move by Iverson. So Hill control. Nearly lost it. Somehow got the feed. It's Werman. He has it back along the baseline. Iverson.
So much in his bag. But you're right. Different personality, at least in the first half. But they're only 12 down, Georgetown. And they gnaw away with this relentless personality of theirs.
Syracuse been getting it up against the full court press effectively. Here's Yanulis for 3. Won't go for him. Rebound by Harrington.
John pulls the plug there. What a look.
Jerome Williams, and he's stopped, and the ball stolen by Otis Hill.
Good post cut by Bergen.
Bergen missing inside.
Can't catch him, Otis, can you?
Iverson.
I think Nichols got it on the tip.
Nichols.
Yep.
Nichols with a tip.
His speed, he didn't turn the afterburner on with Otis Hill alongside, but great help by Nichols.
Margin cuts at 10. And they'll call it on Williams.
You got to back off Jerome. Right there, he hugged him. This is just terrific push of the basketball, and you never know. Even the great ones make them up empty. You saw Otis run under, but Nichols, his presence, necessary.
Wallace with 8 points. At the free throw line makes it 9.
But considered the draft, Tim. It's been written a number of times and just wasn't ready. What an intelligent move to come back to Syracuse.
76%er from the free throw line makes them both 38-26 Syracuse. 10 points for Wallace.
A very good financial decision by John Wallace, I think. I didn't get back in the zone, though. Hurt his team now.
Williams.
Stayed out and counted the house. The kick on the inbound.
8 points for Williams. And more basketball ahead. USC and California. Some of you will be going to that. Mississippi State and Oklahoma all coming up. More hoops here on CBS Sports. Henry Bibby taking over in that shocking kind of change mid-season at USC.
I'm curious to hear what George has to say because his buddy and former assistant partner was doing, everybody felt a good job. So a mystery to people.
Well, we've got a little problem with the clock. Jim Boeheim seems agreeable to the change. 1:24 showing. 1:24 remaining first half. Ogchina in the lineup for Syracuse for the first time. The freshman from Sarajevo, Bosnia, and he has the ball, number 40.
And Patrick, you mentioned with...
And Patrick. Missing. A foul underneath in traffic, and it looks like Nichols. They'll make it Yanulis. It's going to be on Marius Yanulis. And Syracuse still in the one-on-one.
The biggest fear Jim Boeheim had when I met him just before the game here was they have periods in the game where they get fatigued and their big leads end up dissipating because of that. I thought he yo-yoed pretty well. Riff Snyder got the third. Rosales gets the third. It eliminates some of his flexibility.
Gary Nichols missing on the free throw. Wallace on the rebound.
How about this for two power forwards, huh? Garden and Hanley.
Patrick's pass broken up but gathered in by Bergen. Bergen into the paint off to Wallace. Nice play by Wallace underneath the basket. 12 points for the All-American.
Well, Bergen with the penetration almost looked like Sims getting into the lane.
Harrington inside for Williams. He's fouled.
Bergen with the reach in there, getting it down low. I think if Georgetown's patient, they can pound it down and get what they want. They've got the size, the physicalness to compete down low, but they're in a rush a little bit. Sometimes over-penetration takes away the big guys.
First foul on Bergen, but it's a two-shot foul for Williams. 10-team fouls on Syracuse with 34.4 seconds to go first half. Ogchina goes out. Hill comes back. Jim Boeheim likes the talent potential of Elvir Ogchina, the freshman 6'11" from Sarajevo. And Williams makes.
Very important time right now for Syracuse, because if it's a make here by Williams, it might be an all-out press. Guy on the inbound passer, deny. Everybody in the dark shirts up at this end of the court. Gamble a little to try and get themselves back in this thing.
Williams with 9 to make it 10 and draw the Hoyas to within 10. And he does. 10-point game. Syracuse 40-30.
Now this is a little softy. He's head up, man-to-man pressure.
Tuomo on Cipolla.
Jason just putting that ball up in the screen. He's very relaxed and composed.
16 seconds and 13 on the shot clock.
Wallace should keep it.
Wildfire Hill stepped out.
You got to know where you are. Court awareness. Nice look by John Wallace. 6 seconds, plenty of time. Iverson on the floor. Doesn't even have to speed dribble. He can get up in 2 or 3. The Georgetown defense 3-on-1, and they still get themselves back in. Cause the turnover.
9 turnovers for Syracuse first half. 6.3 seconds left.
They should pinch at half court, make Iverson give it up. They don't even have to.
Iverson driving the lane now off for Harrington.
That's number 3. Boy, did they bait him in. Suck him into the lane. The Reed. He will occasionally get in too deep.
His third and 14 turnovers for Georgetown. 1.2 seconds left. Lead.
Tim, as long as you coach, you know, you need a little luck. John, a nice look here for Wallace, and he did a good look. Iverson, he just put him in to bring it up the floor quickly. He ends up with number 3.
Fine first half for the Orangemen of Syracuse, who leads 40-39. And George Raveling will be along from New York with Pennzoil at the half after this message and a word from your local station.
In searching for a luxury siding.
Oil at the half, sponsored by Pennzoil. For more engine miles, Pennzoil works like liquid ball bearings.
All right, Roscoe, thank you. Allen Iverson looking for a wake-up call. He has 5 points and 3 fouls. Georgetown trails Syracuse 40-30. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Pat O'Brien. Welcome to Pennzoil at the Half. George Raveling and I, perhaps the only two human beings watching basketball in gray suits this afternoon. Nice to see you.
Bought and rented.
Let's fire up the scoreboard. Nice to see you, Coach. Fire up the scoreboard. Got some finals for you. Villanova and Rutgers. Villanova coming off that big win over Georgetown on Monday. 76-64 the final there. Virginia Tech and Xavier, 78-73. Damon Watlington had 23 points on the day. And Michigan now 5-5 in the conference. They trail, or they lost to Purdue today, 69-64. Our cavalcade of college hoops continues as the wheel rolls on with USC against California, tipping off at 3:05, followed at 4:05 with the tip-off of Mississippi State and Oklahoma. We've got a report on USC-Cal right now from Bill McAdee.
Welcome to Berkeley, the campus of the University of California, where they've been known to have a turbulent moment or two over the years. It's calm at Cal today. This week, the turbulence has been down the California coast at USC, where in a surprise move, Charlie Parker was fired and replaced on an interim basis by assistant Henry Bibby. So now the former UCLA star has but 8 games to try to rejuvenate SC.
It's real tough to take over, but it's a challenge. It's another obstacle that I'm excited about. It's very unfortunate the way it happened, but that's the way the ball bounces.
We're in front of sold-out Harmon Gym, and even Henry Bibby sounded as though he didn't expect to be back next year. And to make matters worse for USC, they have to go against Cal today without starting center Avondre Jones, who reportedly was so upset over the firing of Charlie Parker that he stayed home. So he is officially suspended for today's game.
All right, and so USC at Cal this afternoon, and in Los Angeles, big news, and a lot of people were surprised by that firing, George.
Well, there's a dark cloud hovering over college basketball right now, Pat, as a result of the Charlie Parker firing. His was a team that was sitting in 5th place in the Pac-10 with a winning record. What I think it is, it's another reminder of the vulnerability of the coaching profession. But, Pat, everybody that I talk to on the West Coast right now, they believe 2 things. Number 1, that Henry Bibby is an interim coach, and number 2, that Paul Westphal is an absolute lock to be the next coach at USC.
Can we make you a candidate? You go back to your old school?
What do they say? Once you leave home, never come back.
We like you right here. At the Half rolls on right after this. Stay with us.
In Washington and at Georgetown. The diversity of the student body reflects its interest in international affairs. Students come from 110 foreign countries and all 50 states. From its beginning over 200 years ago, Georgetown's Jesuit tradition of scholarship and intellectual rigor encompassed the whole world. Georgetown University, America's oldest Catholic university.
In its anniversary year, Syracuse University celebrates the wealth of talent, diversity, and accomplishment that is defined by its graduates. Syracuse University alumni exemplify a tradition of quality and service that has spanned generations and touched many lives. For over a century, this timeless vision of learning and commitment has been shared by students and alumni. Syracuse University, 125 years of celebrating the Syracuse student, past, present, and future.
Hey, mister, can I have your autograph? Sure, kid, but it'll cost you $2 billion a year, and you can't tell the real thing from the fakes. 60 Minutes, Sunday.
Welcome back to Pennzoil at the Half. CBS Sports invites our computer-crazed college hoop fans to check out our internet site for the road to the Final Four on CBS. Eye on the net at www.cbs.com. Be nice. Often in the world of big-time sports, dreams are not enough. As one member of Arkansas's national championship team has learned, sometimes you can go from royalty to reality. Scotty Thurman never expected to be in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Every day I wake up, I realize, where I am, and sometimes I feel like, why am I here? Why me?
One on the shot clock. Thurman beating. Oh! He got it! Three-pointer!
Only 2 years removed from leading Arkansas to the national championship, Thurman is stuck in the Continental Basketball Association. It wasn't supposed to turn out this way. Thurman would have been a star in his senior year at Arkansas, but last April he decided to chase his NBA dream.
I decided that I'm going to enter the 1995 NBA draft. I heard from pretty much everyone that I was, you know, a top 25 pick, you know, and they had 29 picks in the first round. I didn't see 28 players in the country that I felt that were better than I was.
The only problem was nobody wanted him. Left undrafted by the NBA, the Shreveport Storm of the CBA picked him up in December.
I was kind of looking forward to carrying bags for guys, you know, Patrick Ewings and guys like that, you know, who've been in the league for a long time. But in this league, you know, being a rookie is extremely frustrating because you're not really where you want to be.
There are no Patrick Ewings in the CBA. Even the hecklers are not of NBA quality. Showing up at CBA arenas means bumpy rides in a hotel van. As for post-game meals, five-star restaurants are not in the budget.
Because I made a lot of friends in college, you know, and, you know, being a kid, you know, you never get to be a kid again once you leave college, you know, so now it's a job for me.
With the exception of one 36-point outburst last week, Thurman has struggled to regain the shooting stroke that shredded the NCAA. Defensively, he's trying to overcome a lack of foot speed.
I think that it was unfortunate that Scotty came out when he did. I think he had bad advice somewhere along the line. Another year in college would have done wonders for him.
I would never answer that question as to say, yeah, he should have stayed, or yes, he should have gone. The answer to that lies within Scotty.
Personally, I felt that, you know, I accomplished all I could accomplish for Arkansas. You know, it was my decision. You know, I got to live with it.
At night in the hotel room, he calls home. Thurman spends much of his time reading the Bible. And he continues to dream about the NBA. If he ever does set foot on an NBA court, Scotty Thurman will cherish the moment.
Man, I feel that, you know, if I ever do, you know, get to that level, which I feel that I will, you know, I feel that, you know, it'll make me realize, you know, how hard I need to work to continue to still, you know, participate in that league, because, you know, just because you get there don't mean you won't come back down. You know, I want to be able to get there and stay for as long as I want to.
Pat, I coached Scotty at the Goodwill games in St. Petersburg, Russia. I felt then, and I continue to believe that he should have stayed. I think this is a classic example where 100 more practices and 30 more games could have been a positive difference in a college player's career.
Well said. I think a lot of people agree with you on that, too. Let's do some business here. Daytona Speed Week begins on CBS, George, tomorrow at noon with the Busch Clash, the Mad Dash for the Cash down at Daytona International Speedway. And then at 1 o'clock, the road to the Final Four continues with a Big Ten battle between the Indiana Hoosiers and the Iowa Hawkeyes. Followed at 3, speaking of Scotty Thurman, his former team, a showdown between Arkansas and Kentucky. Then, after basketball, we've got skiing, the Sprint World Ski Challenge international competition featuring former Olympic champions. CBS Sports' coverage of the road to the Final Four continues in a moment. Stay with us.
At the Carrier Dome in Syracuse, the Orangemen by 10 over the Georgetown Hoyas, who waxed them by 19 in the game down at Landover. And the question obviously is, can the Orangemen keep it up? Can the Hoyas somehow get going? They have not had a strong first half.
Well, I think John Wallace, if he keeps it going, the Syracuse definitely has an opportunity. These numbers here, I think the turnovers are one that surprised both of us.
Absolutely. 14 by Georgetown and shooting only at 43%. That combination plus no threes. But John Wallace has been doing his job.
This one surprised both of us. Off the bounce, in traffic. And I think it may have surprised him as well with that little
look on his face.
Smile. Just a terrific read here. I mean, he's showing his intelligence, his total capacity for a guy of that size and ability.
That was early in the game, and he was really pumping up.
And that little look there, proof that he can run the floor with the little guys. And think of Boeheim taking him out after that first minute. I think
right out, and you made the comment.
great attitude towards the game. He can go game after game, maybe not get many opportunities, still plays hard, rebounds, does the little things to help his team. And in the Syracuse team, they got it to him at the foul line. They're not permitting him to touch it there this afternoon.
That's his first free throw. He's 1 for 4 from the line. Brings it to 9.
Look at Iverson peeking at the ball. Oh, what a little nudge.
Bergen inside to Sims, feeding Hill in traffic.
Al with the reach in there.
Ball basket. Al picks up his first. Boubacar Al.
You put that ball down, they're attracted to it quickly, Georgetown.
Bergen won't go for him. Williams brings it down. 3-on-1 Hoyas. For Al. Missed the layup. Rebound by Bergen. Perfect lob for Wallace.
Well, that avoided a possible charge.
Iverson back the other way. He's short. Bergen has it.
He got fouled too, though, in fairness to him.
Otis Hill.
What a bang. And John Thompson with only 2 timeouts saying, just go slow. He likes to take the crowd out of it by some composure on the offensive end.
Hill's got 12 points. Wallace has 14. Williams led Georgetown in the first half with 10. Harrington only had 4 and Iverson only 5.
Against the zone, when you slow it down, sometimes you get stuck with an awfully unattractive delivery late. They're down under 10 now.
44 to 31. Crowd of 32,000 plus.
Down to 3.
Iverson for 3. His first of the day from there.
Tough to live on those. Now this is a great move too. This takes Iverson out of the pressure. Wallace able to handle.
Wallace went the distance, missed the jumper. Rebound Sapola, had it knocked away, and the Hoyas have it. Here comes Iverson.
He's got the carry. Pretty good call here. And look at John with the sleight of hand. John's telling him how he did it. Now, I watched John play. There's no way he ever dribbled the ball out the middle of the floor. John was permitted that one bounce, strong move to the goal. I don't think you see too many guys the likes of Allen Iverson.
Dan Chrisman, the official, made that call. Showed some pretty good dance steps.
And he also some courage going over in front of John to make the call.
10-point margin, Syracuse. As it was at the half. 17:35 to go in the Carrier Dome. Jim Ryan and Bill Raftery live on CBS. More basketball ahead. Otis Hill.
The high man. Great cut. Strong completion.
14 for him. It'll be USC in California following. And Mississippi State, Oklahoma. Lots more ahead on the CBS wheel today from the NCAA.
That's some great talent. Dampier for Mississippi State. And Ryan Minor, not a good look here.
Barrington's pass right in the hands of Wallace. 16 turnovers for the Hoyas.
Well, they got a lot of spice in their offense right now.
Sims.
Wow, a lot of motion. Even though Sims up, down, screen across, opened up the lane for Lazarus.
His first basket. Boeheim would like him to shoot more than he does. That one he let fly with the opportunity. 48 to 34. Great Anderson. Good pass for Williams.
Nice little spot up there as John got him on the wing. I think he can do a lot more damage over there.
12 points for the senior from Germantown, Maryland. Averages 10 a game. Sapola in some trouble.
Look at this read. Oh, I think he hit his head on the floor, Allen.
Iverson, I think it might have been the hand or arm of Otis Hill as they both dove for the loose ball. He's all right.
Well, the high-energy game epitomized by this play. And there is great effort by all of them. Unfortunately, Allen holds his head. He's on the bottom as Otis Hill lands on it.
Turnover by Syracuse. Iverson. First layup misses, but foul called in the lane.
Polo there trying to stem the tide. You saw Sims in the open area trying to gamble. You've got to pinch him in the open floor because Allen just turns it up a notch Gets it to the 10.
Second on Cipolla will send Iverson to the line. Ja's in the lineup now for the Hoyas. John Thompson used 11 players in the first half, including Godwin Owinju got about a minute. The Nigerian.
I attribute that to his early days around Dean Smith. That philosophy that Dean had. Now, Dean doesn't have the flexibility the last 2 years or numbers. But John has stuck with it over the years. You better lace him up when you play for him. Got to put it on the floor.
Timeout called. Syracuse 50-37.
It's the day of reckoning for NASCAR's greatest, the Daytona 500, live next Sunday on CBS.
Well, Tim Ryan, Syracuse turning a fast break as quickly as you turn $1. The kick out, and this has been the first half and the second. The ability to get it out, and the strong finish by Mr. Wallace. Great look by Slip.
Syracuse shooting at 51%, 5 points above their average.
Nickel dimer.
John Wallace. To Wallace, his second. He had one in the first minute of the game.
So when you're that big and strong, it offends you to get a small change foul.
50-37, Syracuse lead. 2 games back of Georgetown in the Big East standings. Runner inside for John. His speed for Williams. And the basket will count. Giannoulis picks up his foul. Marius Giannoulis. And that'll be 2 on him. And remember, we're going next to USC in California. Some of you will be watching that. Mississippi State and Oklahoma. All still ahead here. NCAA action on CBS Sports. Williams at the line. Looking to chance for a 3-point play, and Williams races after it. What an effort, and keeps the ball alive for the Hoyas.
And they get the chairs out of the way and let him back in. The other end, they wouldn't let him in.
Romo to Williams. Williams pulls his way to the ball.
What use of the pivot foot?
Jerome Williams has been the big man inside for the Hoyas all day long.
And a little frenetic play by him.
16 points for Jerome.
Georgetown stepping it up just a little bit now. In the passing lane, gambling a little.
9-point lead. Big possession here for Syracuse. Reassert their dominance. And they top it up. It's Georgetown ball. 11 turnovers now for Syracuse. Iverson drives the lane and he lost it.
Now, he's had problems. Remember the double dribble we had some fun with Dan Christman? He misused that fast break. That was a simple bounce pass. Once in a while, he tries to get in too deep or make maybe the sensational play.
The sophomore from Hampton, Virginia, a sensational ball player, but maybe pressing a little too hard. The pressure of the Carrier Dome.
But I would take it anytime.
Bergen to the corner for Cipolla. Cipolla, good move, and missing the jumper, the rebound. Williams.
4 on 2.
Page missing. Williams again. Can't hold it. Wallace for Cipolla. Syracuse comes up with a loose ball. Wallace. Oh.
Major league. Dribble through, square up.
18 for John Wallace.
How about college basketball? A lot of things happen on the floor. All-out effort. Floor burns. Anything to get the loose ball.
Composure by the senior Wallace on the shot. Ja, hook shot missing. Iverson way up for it.
He's on the wing and exploded to the tip.
52-43. Syracuse had no problem against the full court press. When we get down here and they got those guys in their face, so far they've been doing an outstanding job.
They do observation right on the money. He walked, I thought.
Wallace, turnaround jump count.
His Palace.
20 points for John Wallace.
And look at the fatigue, though. He's bending all the way over. There's a foul, or they'll get a tip in. Look how far out he went.
Romney the turnover. Pass for Sims. Oh, Iverson out of nowhere to keep it alive. To Victor Page.
That'll just be forgotten during the game. But what hustle by Iverson?
Where'd he come from?
Extraordinary.
There's Iverson, and he's rejected. The foul will be called, likely on. And Ja over there to Ja with Hill. He didn't like the double defensive play. Iverson not yet up.
Ja is being controlled by Tim Higgins.
Ja felt that that was an intentional foul, but I didn't see it that way. I thought it was just a good effort on the part of Hill, because Iverson comes from nowhere, and there's John Thompson on the floor talking to Ja, calming him down and giving him what for.
And Jim Boeheim's furious that John Thompson's on the floor, so he's out there now. He was trying to get Ja. You can leave the bench in that situation to control your player, to make sure there isn't a fight. Jimmy begging for the tee, Tim Higgins. And that was strictly to control.
Well, now we got some Georgetown, Syracuse stuff here.
This is the old days. Wait a minute, no oranges, please. Patrick Ewing probably has nightmares shooting
now let's
free
see
throws.
it again. Here, you watch Otis Hill. Remember the quickness of Iverson? Suddenly pops up free underneath. There he is.
And Wallace just getting over a little bit late. Now, that's good, clean basketball. Just the fall, unfortunately. This is just excellent pursuit to block the shot. There's no arms, no legs, just healthy, aggressive defensive basketball.
And Iverson, most importantly, is up and all right. He's been throwing his body all over the court.
Bernie Fine there as we take another look. Ja has been terrific. Came in, made a couple of good passes. And here, this is just a good block. Now, don't forget, these technicals count as a personal foul, as we see Iverson writhing in pain.
But is he getting the technical for his play on Iverson, or is he getting it for the altercation with Ja?
Yeah, the two of them when they went after one another.
And you know, I don't know that Hill participated in that at all.
I think he extended his arm a little bit, and anytime you taunt either way, they're going to make the call. They didn't give Ja.
Well, Jim Boeheim doesn't agree, and I'm not sure I do, only because Ja went immediately over to Hill after Iverson went down. But that's the way it's been called, and Iverson will take the shot, and now John Thompson still out there yelling at his team. And Iverson misses. That gets a rise from the crowd, of course. And 11 points now for Iverson.
And you're right, now they shoot the tees and they get the ball, so they just called it one way.
Well, they called the first foul on Hill, evidently, under the basket.
They got to call a tee on both guys, though. We have not been informed either way.
Now they're going the other way.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
Well, Yanulis is going to shoot the technical against Ja. He's on the line for Syracuse. Yanulis, a 78% free throw shooter. To 45, a 10-point game. Well, this is real Syracuse, Georgetown stuff.
It's not McDonough or Manley. Different players, different numbers, but the
not a good look by this time. Syracuse turnover, and Chioma goes the distance.
John Thompson wisely, as you noted, saying, get back, let's play half court. We're doing a much better job. They can get the high guy. Baseline. As they reverse the basketball, the high man is free. Jimmy Boeheim wants a 20 here. 17 seconds on the shot clock.
Let's go back and look at that play underneath. We'll see if we can see Jaw and Hill come together. Okay, now there's the foul underneath. You see the foul call from the official. Now there's Hill in the far upper corner of the court on your screen on the left. Now here comes Jaw. Jaw comes over. Do we have the rest of that? And that's all we have.
Well, that's the taunting, though. Then they got into an exchange. Hill extended his arm, didn't hit him. But anytime there's any woofing, that's a effort this year by Hank Nichols and company to make sure nothing escalates.
8-point margin. Syracuse on top. They have the ball. 11:51 to go regulation time.
Key period with Wallace on the bench, Hill on the bench. Not what you call a good offensive group on the floor.
Sims, bounce pass too high for Unilis and a foul call. Break for the Orangeman there.
On Iverson, number 4. Ooh. He's trying to ask John to leave him in. He plays so hard, it's tough for him to control that energy. More importantly, another 35 and another little blow for Wallace and Hill.
Reed Snyder off the glass to follow by Bergen.
Clean up.
Now John Thompson, before that basket was scored, was on his way to contest the clock with the officials. 7 points for Bergen.
He's complaining about the timeout. Under 12, the TV timeout wasn't called. Oh, that's great. Yeah, he wants an offensive foul. Well, you said he missed the old confrontation of the kind of seconds, the Massiminos. But these two from day one. And how about John breaking up in Manly that long winning streak? So from that time on, now he gets his timeout. Thompson always gets his way.
11:41 to go. It's a 10-point game.
Chris Farley, Jim Blossom, Siskel and Ebert, Neil Diamond, Tom Arnold, Dennis Hopper, and Terry Hatcher. This week.
Tim Ryan with Bill Raftery, Carrier Dome, Syracuse, 10-point game, 11:41 to go.
And Tim, there can't be a TV timeout after a 22nd. That was the discussion they were having.
Well, John Thompson was up right in the middle of things to go over and check on that. And he won the battle. Paid. Fouled by Obchina. Elvir Obchina, second appearance in the game, the freshman from Sarajevo. Well, is it on Yanulis?
Oh, they switched it? Well, either guy was in the mix, and that's, what, number 3?
It is Yanulis. That's 3 on Yanulis there. Good shooter from Lithuania. Wallace comes back in. Obchina goes out. So Obchina had about 10-second appearance.
Now, Wallace got a long time on the bench. I mean, 5 or 6 minutes. Not clock minutes, but timeout minutes and some clock.
Page at the line for the Hoyas. Lee Snyder battles for the rebound. Jump ball call. Possession arrow is Georgetown.
Good hard play. Could you imagine this in a Manly atmosphere? The competitiveness of both these teams. Look how quick Williams got in there, and Riff Snyder did not rip it. Should have had control of that one.
A Manly performance out here for both teams.
You better be.
Duomo for Page. Duomo giving Iverson some minutes. This is Jackson.
I think Riff Snyder stepped in. That should be number 4.
Rafe Snyder picks up his 4th. And they're in the one-on-one. So Thompson with 3 guards in the lineup at the moment, not including Allen Iverson, who's getting some rest with his 4 fouls. Rafe Snyder goes out with 4. That brings Otis Hill back in.
And Riff Snyder going out makes me think of Bernie Fine, the assistant for Jimmy. And he's had such an impact on Danny Shays, Lonnie Cycling, Roosevelt Bowie.
Jackson missing. Rebound Hill.
Of course, Wallace and Hill. To name a couple of others.
Tim's directing traffic. Blocked by Damon by Tuomu.
I think Wallace can do some damage on the box. He's got the size, presence on Jackson.
Tim to Unillis. Hill inside, in and out off the back rim. Rebound by Williams. He has been outstanding for the Hoyas. Rebounding and scoring. Jerome Williams. Great rebounder. Page on the baseline is fouled. Stepped out of bounds before he ran into Wallace. 19 turnovers now for Georgetown. That's part of their 10-point deficit.
And Tim, excuse me, that last trip, Georgetown looked fatigued inside on their defense. Dave Hill, great position, easy turnaround.
Nichols in the lineup for the Hoyas. John Thompson using that very good bench effectively again. Notice inside to Hill. Nice pass to Wallace. Wallace turn around.
Away from traffic, but what a look by Lazar 6.
22 points for John Wallace.
Hill, excuse me.
Hill fouls Tuomu, and that's his third.
And don't forget, he got the tee that's added as a personal. So he's got 3 quickly. You can't sit back and read the newspaper playing Georgetown. No slippers, no pipe.
You got 11 guys storming at you from the opening cap. 59-47, Syracuse lead. 9:58 to go. Tuomu on the line.
I believe some of their games, practice is a lot harder when they get after one another. You don't get to see a lot of their practice, but over the years I've seen a few. Very competitive. Which you've been in, I'm sure.
Yes.
With your travels.
That's their reputation. Same kind of thing. In the clump in Detroit.
Staggered little pick and roll up top.
Bergen driving. Yes.
And a great play inside as Wallace kept everybody active.
Jim Boeheim thinks this guy's best years are well ahead of him. He thinks next year this is going to be a junior to watch from Detroit, Michigan. Todd Bergen.
Pershing High, Northampton, and look at this, slicing. He's a slasher, but Wallace kept the baseline active.
Timeout called by Georgetown. 22nd. 1990. This was the scene as John Thompson in overtime got a technical ejection. He's out of there, and look at him work the crowd as they were working him. Well, that's kind of the flavor we've got here this afternoon in yet another big Georgetown-Syracuse game. That was the second biggest crowd ever in the Carrier Dome back at that game that clinched the regular season for the Orangemen of Syracuse with an overtime victory. John and Boeheim going at it in friendly spirit here earlier. We saw them getting physical in quotes on the sideline. Bergen hits to make it a 3-point play.
And they're like fine wine, and I can bring that up around rules of connoisseur. They've stood the test of time, both coaches.
Both have been here from the beginning of the Big East. The only 2 active ones. Our guy Rafley was there, and he's definitely not
I'm still active.
I don't know about that.
Inert.
That's up for grabs.
I'm active at the wrong time.
Iverson for 3, no good. Rebound Hill.
So he settled. That's the impatience once in a while that pops out on Allen.
62-48.
Need to stop here. They don't get out on a good 3-point shooter.
In and out, a little short from Wallace on the 3.
Another run coming. They will not stop playing.
Williams. Alley-oop pass from Nichols.
Now this is a rearing. He rags the guard. You got to be careful with your dribble.
18 points for Jerome Williams. Sims has done a very good job in that department today. Oh, Bergen thought Sims was coming back out and threw it away.
I think part of it, Jimmy wants a timeout, part of Sims' success has been the big guys have helped him a little, ease the pressure, let him come back on occasion.
Timeout on CBS Sports coverage. Your NCAA basketball continues after this message and a word from your local station. 17 pole sitters battling in a 50-mile full tilt sprint to the finish tomorrow on CBS Sports. And that's followed at 5 o'clock by the Sprint World Ski Challenge, some of the biggest names of ski racing. It is 62-50, 8:26 to go here in the Carrier Dome. More than 32,000 jammed in for this great rivalry. Yanulis battling for the rebound, gets it out to Bergen. Iverson got poked in the eye in traffic. He's been battered all throughout the game, staying on the court, and Yanulis gets the freedom. Iverson couldn't pick up the coverage.
And Tim, he was looking for a timeout and was not able to cover that side of the zone. And Syracuse, once again, able to take advantage.
6 points for Yanulis. 14-point lead. We've been joined here at courtside by the great Syracuse star Lawrence Moten, now with Vancouver in the NBA. Lawrence, this must remind you of some other battles.
Oh, man, my palms are sweating right now. It feels like just like yesterday. You know, they're playing really well, you know, defensively. And if they do that, you know, good things will happen.
How about Iverson? You think you'd like to guard him with your foot speed?
Oh, man, one of the quickest. You know, he's
you could blow by him.
Oh, hey, no problem. I think I can. I'm not going to doubt myself, Bill. You know that.
Tim was mentioning how exciting these games. What one particular game stands out with you with Georgetown, or are they all very similar?
Well, one of the ones that stand out in my mind was my freshman year in the Big East tournament when we beat Alonzo Mourning and those guys. You know, a lot of people written us off. You know, we played really well, and we got a 2-point win. You know, and it's bragging rights for me when I go back home anyway, so.
That's right, you're a DC guy. Well, sit tight, we'll watch this a little bit.
Yep. 14-point lead for Syracuse. Got to make Lawrence Moten happy.
Nice little show here by Williams. Perfect double up, a little blitz, and what a read.
Otis Hill.
No cheering on the air, by the way. We're supposed to be nonpartisan.
16 points for Otis Hill. Sellout crowd loving this, and a steal by Sims. Yanulis.
Sims with the present.
Timeout, Georgetown.
Thanks for dropping by, kid.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Lawrence.
6:47 to go.
Welcome to Heath. Sims and his ability to handle the pressure. Here he gets the blitz. Hill steps out of the frame. Look at the presence, the delivery by Sims and Hill. Nice little turnaround, Jay.
11 assists for Sims on the day. Having quite an afternoon, an 18-point lead. The crowd wants at least 19. That was the deficit down in Landover. And there's Wallace with a rebound and a miss by Al.
I think they got Wallace with the push just before number 3.
It'll be 2 shots for Georgetown. Page will go to the line. He was the one pushed.
And that's going to bring them up to 27 free throw attempts when you think of it, too. 8 of 11 for Syracuse, 11 of 25 as you look at the summary.
20 Georgetown turnovers and 44% shooting. They normally shoot 48%. Syracuse, meanwhile, shooting at 55, pardon me. 55%. 29 and 53 from the field. Otis Hill, he's been terrific inside.
They could give this to Al. Iverson back in. Fortunately, his eye is fine as he gives Page a blow, but nice traffic rebound by the Cuse.
Allen Iverson has been battered around throughout this game, but he just keeps coming back for more.
Syracuse has put a lot of things in. They're screening better against the press, cutting better. You can see Boeheim upset at his team as they were after this at Georgetown, and they started to play terrific basketball. That win against BC right after a steady improvement all along here.
Georgetown has only had 5 team fouls in the second half, and we're down to 6:07 to go.
Wallace to the box. There you see him.
Yanulis off the front iron. Rebound by Wallace. Turned around, missing out the glass.
They are doing a great job in position, weak side to counter an unusually terrific rebounding Georgetown team.
Now couldn't stay in bounds at Syracuse ball. Sims firing it outside to Bergen. You can see that this Todd Bergen's going to turn into quite a ball player. Sophomore.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. He's just improved his game, expanded it by being outside. And once again, Sims, as Georgetown gets their 16th foul, able to dribble away from the traffic.
Third personal on Au, and don't forget USC in California. Henry Bibby's second game as the new head coach. Mississippi State and Oklahoma. Sims gave a good slap to Tuomo, and Tuomo points to the official, Jim Bird, and draws attention to it. No foul.
Nice play by Williams.
Well, this is a shutout here. Williams has been outstanding. Deserves a freebie.
Finish strong, and that's all because of the pressure on the dribbler.
20 points for Williams. There's Yanulis alone. The leaping Lithuanian hit. He's got 10 points. Great contributor off the bench today for the Orangemen. Williams back the other way. What intensity he's had. 22 points.
Said he's a magnificent rebounder, particularly on the offensive glass.
70 to 54 Syracuse. 2 games back to Georgetown in the Big East standings. Obviously want to try and win that Big East title and get a bye in the first round of the tournament.
And Al gets the foul on the trap. Syracuse going to have to present themselves a little differently. They're just coming to the line, the foul line. They've got to come on the wing as well to help out Sims in that trap.
4 fouls on Boubacar Au, a Senegalese who went to school in Waccamaw, North Carolina, a sophomore. Sims will go to the line with 2 points. Shooting 1-of-1. He's got 11 assists. Azara Sims, he has not been bothered by the full court pressure when the Hoyas have had it on. And more importantly for Jim Boeheim, he's done very well against the half court pressure. Well, tomorrow, conference crunch time here on CBS Sports, a doubleheader. Ryan Evans will lead the Indiana Hoosiers against Jess Settles and the Iowa Hawkeyes. And then Nolan Richardson's Razorbacks trying to put the stop on Rick Pitino's high-scoring Kentucky Wildcats. 72 to 54 the score.
Syracuse would like to have them use clock here. Make them impatient.
Now driving, dishes off, and Bergen dives in to break that up. It'll be Georgetown ball.
Syracuse has met the intensity. Down in Washington, they were not ready for this high level of involvement that Georgetown has every single game.
Well, again, we pointed out Georgetown with only 2 seniors in their starting lineup coming in here against 32,000 people. I think some of the kids have been affected, but not this guy, Williams. He's one of the seniors.
Great-looking kiss shot. They got numbers here.
24 points. Yanulis and Divaculli, the steal. It was Iverson with a hand on it. And Al banks out the glass.
Feed.
Down to 12.
Their offense off their defense.
Under 4 minutes we go.
Sims has got to make sure he comes back to bail out the forwards. Can't let them dictate decisions. They got Wallace.
Bergen finds him. He got Wallace fall away with Cook. Jackson. Damon Jackson. His first, the freshman guard from Alexandria, Virginia. He's got Texas Tech, number 13, with another victory today.
Syracuse making wise use of Wallace. That time, the little guy, Jackson, stepping over, and good timing to get it to him. How about Iowa State?
Trouble.
I think the most impressed guy was Norm Stewart. In that game, Missouri going in there thinking, well, Iowa State, 10 new players, Tim Ford's guys.
3:36 to go. Iverson drives the lane, and one.
How does he get in there? I mean, you've told your guard, pin, don't let him run him, and he just blows by. Distressing and disturbing.
Otis Hill with 4 fouls. Heads to the bench with 3:32 remaining. You know, both John Thompson and Jim Boeheim are supporting the Coaches versus Cancer. Absolutely wonderful drive. Norm Stewart kind of the spearhead of that. And both these coaches have been very much involved in helping their local American Cancer Societies. Jim Boeheim, $5,000. We really credit those two coaches for their good efforts in a worthy cause. Schneider gets it over the timeline to Hill, to Sims, pardon me. There's Sims.
Little stack look, and they end up with a guy in the foul line and a dump down.
Joseph Tuuma like a net around him, and Sims again had slapped him away.
So they just don't let you run your stuff, Georgetown. Trap, create decisions, nice look.
Sims for Schneider.
J.B. stepping up, finding the hole.
8 points. Back comes Tuomo. He's bumped. Giannoulis will get the call. And that's 4 on him. Marius Giannoulis, been a huge contributor today. 15 points, Syracuse lead.
Couple of guys there, right? Reeve Schneider?
Absolutely. Bench has done the job, and they only have 3 guys on the bench.
And at times, Jake Cipolla coming in now. Jimmy's done a wonderful job yo-yoing those two.
Yeah, his timing of substitution just been excellent, because he really has only had Reeve Schneider and Giannoulis to go to. David Patrick in a couple of seconds. Avcina in a little bit. Minute here, minute there. Avcina, we should say. Elvir Avcina.
I let you handle the tough ones.
Now, this is the 10th largest crowd here at the Carrier Dome. It is now official 32,589. 4 points for Tuomo. Way up is Wallace.
Big. Can't kill your dribble. Look over the top.
Bergen finds Reeve Schneider. He waits for help. Sims double team.
You take away those little small change situations from Georgetown, they like to ticky-tack you.
That's 5 on Iverson.
They switched the call.
Must have. He's still out there. We'll wait for the official version.
No, maybe you're right now. They've got a...
Well, Tuomo and Iverson were both there, and the officials are now double-checking the stats here.
Jimmy Burr imploring.
Well, I thought he was pointing at Iverson.
Well, they could give it to either guy.
Yeah, they could.
I think it's out. It was out.
Well, they're sorting this out.
That's right.
The attendance for this afternoon's Georgetown game is 32,589.
Well, we don't have an announcement yet, but Iverson's still on the floor, so...
I think they gave it to Al.
It is Boubacar Au who got the call, and that's 5 on him. So he leaves the game. Iverson's still there with 4. Sims at the line.
I I think you like that switch of a foul if you're John Thompson.
I guess.
You need the quick push of the ball. They got to light the numbers up quickly.
What they haven't had today are threes.
What did you say about manly play?
This is very manly play at the Carrier Dome. Bergen and Victor Page colliding.
Well, I never had this Page in my book.
Victor Page.
Attacking the goal like that.
He's a strong kid. He's 6'3". 185-pounder from Washington, D.C., the freshman.
Bergen meeting him, huh? Force with force, getting his third. If they're going to have a shot, he's got to make these two and get themselves organized. Steal line. Okay? You need the stoppage of the clock, get a couple, and be prepared.
Page, a 75% shooter from the free throw line, but look what he's looking at. Hangs in there for the second one, 76-62.
They got the whole communications department in the end zone. That's tough to overcome.
What are they practicing, semaphore? Bergen and Sims the backcourt for the Orangemen.
Jackson again on Wallace at the end of this. They might be able to post them up. Good spread of the floor. You don't want to foul now, down under 15.
Bergen watched by Page. 9 seconds on the shot clock, and Bergen lays it up and not in. Rebounded by Harrington. Harrington not been a factor in this game. Iverson. Iverson pull up. Won't drop for him.
He does such a nice job getting away from traffic, though, getting a good look.
Wallace with another key rebound. 76-62, 1:48 to go.
Spacing, make them work.
11 rebounds for Wallace. Done it at both ends of the court. And it's been the scoring star for Syracuse. Carlo Reed-Snyder.
I'd say Boeheim had them prepared.
10 points for him. Damon Jackson going to the glass. And Reed-Snyder picks up his fifth. .117 to play in the Carrier Dome. Tim Ryan with Bill Raftery, where Syracuse getting payback for their 19-point loss to Georgetown a couple of weeks ago in Landover. We've got a timeout with Syracuse dominating the Hoyas 78-62.
International Speedway, the Busch Clash, Sunday on CBS.
Tim Ryan and Bill Raftery with 1:17 to go in Syracuse, and the Orangemen lead at 78-62. Damon Jackson at the line for Georgetown. J.B. Reed-Snyder just fouled out to the Orangemen after a very significant contribution in this game today, spelling Otis Hill sharing the center time. The executive producer for CBS Sports is Rick Gentile, coordinating producer of NBA Basketball, Bob Deacon. Today's game produced by Terry Schindler and directed by Suzanne Smith. Coordinating producer of Road to the Final Four is Eric Mann at the half. Produced today by David Wimmer and directed by Bob Mattina. The associate director of today's game was Marcy Kempner. We thank them all and our outstanding technical crew for this exciting coverage and an exciting game.
Bodies all over.
Oh, Hill hit from behind by Jackson as he went up for the dunk.
You've got to tighten up the laces, make sure everything is secure. Getting ready for the NCAA, both programs, and these kind of games toughen you up. Hill doesn't get what he wants, but you're not going to get it easy against either one of these clubs today.
Hill will go to the line, and that didn't bother Jackson at all. He just wanted the dunk. In fact, Damon Jackson came over and apologized to Hill for that aggressive foul from behind.
Now he's more upset at missing the dunk than the free throw,
absolutely.
Right? Otis make the free throws.
16 points, 5 rebounds. Ian Reed-Snyder did a great job in the middle for Syracuse today.
Now, you mentioned our people in the truck. They've had a great influence on today's game. Great shots.
Well, I hope not on the outside.
Wallace rebounding. The crowd getting into it here in the final minute. Syracuse will pick up a full game on Georgetown in the Big East standings.
You got to step through when you play this team. Try that when they trap. You got to make a quick move before they close it, and then you got to post. And Syracuse, a couple of days preparation for this one, on fire. And this club will be back. Tough road game for them. Things don't work in every game. You find out some options to go to. A fellow very quiet, not able to get the opportunities in the areas he can be tough.
Victor Page picked up the foul. Wallace with 24 points at the line. Sims goes out, and he had an outstanding game for Syracuse today. Met the pressure. Here's a guy that followed in the footsteps of Earl Washington, Lawrence Moten. A lot of great guards here, and hasn't been talked about in the same breath, but he did the job here today in a big-time game against Georgetown. 12 assists to Lazara Sims and some great ball handling and passing.
You mentioned some of those great names. Bernie Fine runs a fantasy camp with all those old greats. Derek Coleman, Billy Owens. Mentioned Cycli earlier. We had Lawrence on. Addison, Douglas, Shays. They keep coming. And this was not supposed to be a great year for this program.
John Wallace goes out, greeted by the crowd. A 24-point game. Absolutely brilliant. Both ends on the boards. Great leadership by John Wallace today. Senior Alimu Nelson, number 11, comes into the game. He's from Milton, Massachusetts.
That's it. I honestly think John Wallace grew up in the last 8-9 months, too. Just the way he's playing the game. The maturity level achieved. Good leadership qualities.
Obchinal's in the lineup for Syracuse. Elvir Obchina, the freshman from Sarajevo. Harrington for three. Bergen rebound.
Unsung hero, too.
Oh, this guy's played excellent. And he pops it up here, though, to Jackson and Gahn. Brendan Gahn getting some time here in the final minute for Georgetown. 4 personals on Todd Bergen now.
Brendan, a Vegas kid.
Eric Frazier comes in for Syracuse. Number 43. In the Bronx, New York. He's a sophomore, walk-on.
Well, the professor got his guys ready. I always say that Jimmy reminds me of a guy that gave you a long-term paper over the holidays. You know, you're here to do your schoolwork. And his total setup for this game was extraordinary. Handled the pressure. His concern was fatigue and how they played against Georgetown's half-court defense.
Jackson gets one of 2, 81 to 64. Frazier for Obchina, and Obchina gets a tear. Jackson chucks it. Rebound by Frazier. This will be the final play. Nelson, the senior, yes.
Emilio! He'd been practicing a dunk ball pregame.
Syracuse, payback time over Georgetown. The genuine Chevrolet players of the game today. Jerome Williams from Georgetown. John Wallace from Syracuse. Celebrating his 25th year of NCAA sponsorship, Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to each school general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and to assist those in financial need. Congratulations to Williams and Wallace. And so for Bill Raftery, I'm Tim Ryan saying so long from the Carrier Dome with the final score, Syracuse 85, Georgetown 64. Let's go to Pat O'Brien in New York.
All right, Tim, thank you. So as you can see, a party at Syracuse tonight as they hand Georgetown their 3rd consecutive conference road game loss, 85 to 64. Now, a couple other games going on right now. At halftime, California and USC. There. The other game going on, Mississippi State at Oklahoma, just underway, 10-2 in the first half, just underway, and some of you will be going out to that contest after this word and a message from your local station. Stay with us.
From the makers of NyQuil Vicks Dayquil Liquid.
Tough one. Look at Barry's got a hand right up in his face. It's out of frame. It's a Rainbow J. I mean, he's up in the sky. And Dean pulls that timeout. He's such a master at the end of the game. They've been down 17 with 6 minutes against Maryland. They tied it, and they ultimately fouled Terrell Stokes. Stokes went to the line, made both free throws.
There you go, in OT, Georgia Tech 3 of 6, North Carolina 1 of 7, and Carolina next looking at Clemson on the 14th.
Right now, they're going to face guard pressure, try to make the quick steal. If they don't get it, they got to foul. They can't let too much time. And the whistle and the foul. Now it gets down to free throw shooting. Marbury's 1 for 4. That's only 25%. Barry goes over.
And Syracuse advances to 18-6, 8-5 now in the Big East 7. And Coach, another game going on up at the Harmon Gym, USC and Cal, where these folks will be going in a minute. It's a 7-point game. Cal up 38-31. A big day for Henry Bibby, trying to get his first win as the new coach of USC, and also a big game for Cal.
Pat, this is a vital game for the Cal Bears. If they were to lose back-to-back games at home, you could eliminate any opportunity they have to win the Pac-10 championship.
A lot at stake up at the Harmon Gym, and the Cal leads 38-31. We're going to send you out to courtside. Bill McAdee and Derek Dickey have the call up there in the Berkeley area. Enjoy the game. We'll see you later.
Cal 38, USC 31. Here at Harmon Gym, Steve Bozeman from SC off the glass.
It's going to be easy. Look at Bobby. He's hugging him. He said, I told you there was no problem. Just follow my instructions.
Here's the free throw.
He's got 10. The emotion, the jubilation, the sadness. There's Bobby. He's active. He's ready to fly back. He doesn't need a plane to take him back to Atlanta. Gary Saunders out of New York City. Teammate of, as we said earlier, Felipe Lopez played in his background. Reggie Freeman of Texas.
And the ball's thrown away as the inbounds pass by Vince Carter goes over Calabria's hands. So, well, Bobby Cremins, there it is. First time ever to sweep Duke and North Carolina in the same year.
This game really puts them in great shape now for an NCAA berth. They still got to win. Lock it up.
92-83 the final as Drew high 30 points today, and now Georgia Tech. They've got to get ready for Wake Forest on the 17th. Game for Bobby Cremins and his team.
And this little huddle.
Oh, yeah.
This baby, they missed quite a show. Out here in blue hat. It was all Yellow Jackets going home with the W.
12-3 in overtime for Georgia Tech. They win it 92-83.
I am safe and sound.
He was nicknamed Yogi as a baby by his brother.
East Conference. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Don Crickey with Bill Walton. These 12 days ago in New York, the Fighting Irish held off St. John's at the Garden, 86-83. 7 games left for both teams. St. John's still with postseason hopes, but they have to start winning today, and they're looking to a big sophomore to help them do it.
John, St. John's has one of the most promising big men in the Big East. Zendon Hamilton leads the team in scoring and in rebounding, leads the conference in rebounding as well. Zendon's field goal percentage